Hello and welcome to Andrew's Great Outdoor Adventures. These are the great outdoors, and I am, in fact, Andrew.
Hi, how's everybody doing today? I received a couple of requests to do a field stripping of one of our favorites on this channel, the Russian SKS. Piece of Cold War history right here. The Sergei Simonov model of 1943, adopted by the Russian Red Army in 1945, right at the end of the Second World War. So technically it wasn't even used. They manufactured these right up until 1956, and then production was stopped, halted, and everything was packed in Cosmoline and stored away. They're used in ceremonies still to this day. Chinese picked up the tooling and the patterns for these and continued to make them under the Type 56, I believe is what it's called. Standard Russian SKS, caliber 7.62 by 39. We live in Canada, so they like to pin off all of our magazines to 5 rounds, which is okay. We still have fun with that. Semi-automatic 5 rounds. So yeah, what we're going to be doing on the channel here today is just doing a standard field strip so that you can clean this sucker. Because if you like to have fun with this thing like we do, then almost guaranteed you're using Chinese corrosive ammunition or some other form of surplus ammunition, and it's corrosive. 1951 they adopted a chrome lined barrel. Before that everything was just standard steel, and shooting that corrosive ammunition through their almost basically wrecked barrels. So finding the older models, 1951 and prior, you'll find them, but always check your condition of your bore on those. Anything 1951 newer came with a chrome lined barrel, so the chances of your barrel corroding out with your cheap ammunition wasn't so great. However, the chamber is not chrome lined, so that's the area that you need to pay closest attention to when you're cleaning this thing. If you're not shooting corrosive ammo, then you really don't have to worry about it, but you know, if you want to still learn how to field strip it, then we might as well go ahead and do that. So I have my Russian SKS here, and we're going to do a field strip here and do cleaning. I took it out and put a few shots through her, and of course I'm cheap, so I'm using the corrosive ammunition. Most of these models, if you get them complete, they come with a toolkit that's hidden in the butt right there, so you can extract that, if you will. I have another camera over here. This is going to be my over-the-shoulder kind of view. So your toolkit's hidden in the butt end of this thing, but you got to be really careful. Just kind of ease it out of there, because ouch, it'll bite your finger a little bit if you're not careful. Comes out of there, and that's your toolkit right there for it. Comes with all the pieces necessary to do cleaning in the field on your SKS. Got this fancy little muzzle tip on here. This is to protect the end of the bore from your cleaning rod from damaging that. It's also used in ceremony when you put, because people sell blanks for these things, because like I said, they're still used in ceremony. Russians use them in ceremony, parade. They're used pretty much all over the world. Not just the Chinese adopted this thing. We're talking Yugoslavians, where the Yugoslavs actually made a version of this that's probably the nicest version you can get. They're not the only ones that have built this, but anyways, the tube of your toolkit is also part of the cleaning assembly. And then inside of there you have your 3 pieces of your SKS cleaning kit. The spike, which holds the cleaning rod into the handle, which is the tube that stores everything in. Your jag for pushing rag through, and your nylon cleaning brush. And they're all threaded. They go onto your, well, except for the spike. They're threaded so they go into your cleaning rod. The cleaning rod section, we'll take that out. On your bayonet, you have this knurled part right here on the front of it. So in order to engage your bayonet, you have to pull that knurled part back, like so. Grab a hold of your barrel cover. You can pull that back too. But that just drops down, let the bayonet dangle, and then your cleaning rod comes out. Your cleaning rod comes out fairly easy. Yeah, comes with the cleaning rod in there. Now we're going to just swing the bayonet all the way out, because otherwise it's going to be in the way for taking apart the rest of our SKS. Cleaning rod that comes with it, like I say, we'll put the brush on it because we're going to use that. No. So we'll set this up, and I'll show you how this gets set up. So if you have one of these kits for cleaning your nice rifle, you start with your handle and your cleaning rod, and you fire your cleaning rod through the handle, going through the big hole first, and then through the smaller hole. Slide that all the way through, and you'll notice on the end of the cleaning rod too that the hole might be tapered, might not be tapered. So it could be tapered for the spike to go through. Then the spike goes through the hole in the cleaning rod, through the hole inside the handle, basically like so. So you got this nice little cross thing up on the top here. It gives you lots of leverage on the end of your cleaning rod. Now, like I was saying, you put this little barrel muzzle cover over here, and that muzzle cover is basically going to protect the end of your barrel, your bore, from being damaged by the cleaning rod itself. And you take your brush and add your brush onto the end of the cleaning rod. Now you have the full assembly, and you're pretty much ready to go. We'll set that off to the side. We'll get to that in a little bit here. Your cleaning rod assembly, pretty much ready to go. Set it off. Stay. I brought my hops cleaning kit anyways, which is pretty much the same thing, except it's longer. I have brushes set aside for, it's just a small hops kit we got at the local hardware store. This is what I use for pretty much all my stuff. I like to keep all my rifles clean after I shoot them, especially the SKS, like I say, with the corrosive. And I got my 30 caliber patches here, because I like her squeaky clean when we're done with it. Alright, first step to this. What you need to do is you need to pull back your receiver just a little bit and push down the plug in the bottom of your magazine so that your receiver can close. It's live, so yeah, we're making sure that there's no ammo, just to make sure. We'll drop the mag. If there was ammo in there, it'd be out right now. We can pull this back a little bit too and make sure there's nothing through there, just so everybody's clear, everybody's safe. So now that we have it like this, We don't need to leave the magazine open. Next thing you do is on the back here, you're gonna flip your little toggle up. I hate it when stuff falls apart. And flip your little toggle so that it's pointing straight up, and then it'll just slide out. Mine wasn't supposed to do that. So now that that's slid out, then you just take your cover off. Once your pin is pulled out, you just take your top cover off. Set that off to the side. And take your spring out. And there's two little parts to your spring. There's an inside and an outside. There's a rod in the middle, and then the spring is woven around the rod. Always make sure that this wavy end goes inside your receiver. The wavy end inside. Continuing on, once you have that out, now you're going to want to take your bolt. You're going to flip your rifle upside down, and you're just going to slowly pull your bolt back and just keep going with it, and you'll feel it come loose and it'll just fall into your hand. And you can just set that off to the side. There you go. That's that so far. Firing pin assembly. Firing pin assembly and bolt. So now you have your firing pin assembly and your bolt receiver out here. They just separate like this. That's it. They're just sitting one on top of another. If your firing pin assembly is starting to be a little gummy, maybe it's not ejecting properly, then you might want to go a little bit farther in your cleaning here. Most of the time I just make sure this is nice and shiny clean, make sure that my ejector wants to grab properly, and happiness is. Continuing on, we have the rest of it here. So now we're going to take apart our gas tube assembly. So right underneath your front iron sight here, you'll have another little toggle, just like the one on the back here that holds the back cover on. You know what? I'm just going to pop this sling off, because it's going to make it easier in the long run. Okay. I'll set that off to the side. We don't need that for now. Okay. Now we're going to take the gas tube assembly apart. The toggle on the side of the rear iron sight. You're going to want to grab a hold of that. And some of them are going to change. I've noticed between models that there's subtle differences, probably time management, tooling, cost, stuff like that is making them alter the design slightly. So we're going to flip the front toggle up until you'll notice on the top here that there's a little arm that you rotate the arm, and it's a little cam that rotates with it. You want to put that cam so that it's perpendicular to the barrel, and then allow your gas tube to lift out. And that's all you want to do, is just rotate it up so that that gas tube lifts out, lift it up just slightly, and then you're going to want to pop it off. Lift up the gas tube, pop it off the front gas block. And that's all you're going to want to do, is lift up the gas tube at the back. Once you've lifted this toggle so that it's 90 degrees perpendicular to the barrel assembly, lift up the gas tube, pop it off the gas block. Inside there is your gas piston. I'm going to set those off to the side, and we'll clean those too. more parts. So the next step from there, we're going to take away our gas piston return spring. So you'll notice inside there, there's a little circle. That's that plunger with the return spring on there. The plunger with the return spring. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your finger on there and push down. Now, when you push down, you'll feel the spring pressure. So you're going to want to take the pressure off. This little cam that held your gas tube in, and then you're going to want to rotate that lever past that point, and then slowly feel that release on that piston, and it'll pop out like so. You don't want to just flip that lever because that pin will fly out and you'll probably lose the pin and the spring somewhere, which is really going to suck. It's happened to me before. So set that off to the side. Now that's all open. We can see that. We can verify that's clean. Yep. Keep going. All right. Next step. We're going to disassemble the rest of it. We're going to take the stock. We're going to take the barrel and receiver assembly off the stock, as well as the trigger and magazine assembly. And that, believe it or not, is all done with one simple action. I'm going to mention, before you attempt to pop that off and strain yourself and hurt yourself and possibly damage your rifle, the position of your safety is imperative to how easy that pops off or not. If you have your safety off so that it's live, then you will not be able to push that dimple or push that button in to release your trigger assembly out of there. You will not be able to, because the backside of the safety has a cam that blocks that button. Now, I'm going to assume that's there for obvious reasons because, well, somebody probably pop, 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 blink. Oh my God, where did my trigger go? Except it would have been in Russian. So we're going to take the back of our cover, we're going to push it into that button. You're going to have to push with some force, it'll pop free, and then grab the back side of it, lift out, and you got your trigger assembly. Set that off to the side. Magazine, you'll notice it popped open. Open her up, grab the bottom of the case, and then it'll pop free too. And that just sets off to the side. Now, mine's sticky. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Your barrel, the rest of your receiver assembly should just, like I said, mine's sticky. I find it's really tight in the center here. Sometimes you gotta work at it. Come on, really? There we go. It's really snug in here. So sometimes it doesn't want to pop out. And you just literally have to lift up on it and she went back in easy. Is it gonna come back out? No. You dirty, rotten scoundrel. Well, it just doesn't want to lift out nice. Not on mine anyway. Okay, so it pops out, it just lifts out the back, slide it off the front because you got this little ferrule, I guess you want to call it. It covers the end of the stock. Alright, so you gotta lift it up, and it'll just pop off. And then you got your stock. Barrel assembly one side. One thing that I've been pointed out to me is that your Russian ones Your barrel assembly is completely replaceable because it unscrews from your receiver, whereas the Chinese versions of them, they're literally just pinned together. So I'm not sure exactly how that works. But anyways, that's how you field strip a Russian SKS or any other SKS for that matter. Now you can begin your cleaning. Get the stock. Hook that ferrule on the front. Lift that up. We'll let that dangle. And slide the cleaning rod back in here for shits and giggles. Goes bayonet. I'll hold that all in there. Bottom of your receiver assembly, there's a projection. It's got a pair of hooks, and I'll catch the pin on the end of your trigger assembly. These pins right here on the top part of it. They'll be coming up underneath the catching. So slide that in. We'll leave it open. This will come inside up underneath those hooks, like so, and then the bottom just swings in, and you're just going to want to pinch it really freaking hard. Give her a squeeze. You'll hear that. It's now clipped in. Box magazine closes. Remember, it's an SKS. They don't like to be gentle. Now you're going to want to put your return pin and spring in. We're just going to drop it in like that. Rotate your cam so that it's perpendicular to the barrel. Now on mine, it's got a little indent and a trough on the side of the iron sights. So you want a little detent, sorry, and a trough. So you're going to want to put the detent in the start of the trough. On some of the later ones, I think it's a dimple. The detent goes into the dimple on the side of the iron sight. That's basically going to lock that cam so that it's perpendicular to the barrel, so that pin doesn't come out. Which it just did on me a little while ago. Maybe I'll show that, maybe I won't. Now we're going to put our gas tube back on, and that goes onto the gas block on the front, and the back end of it is just basically going to fit down inside the iron sights like that, drop all the way down. Then we're going to push our little tab all the way down through the trough until it locks in place at the bottom. Now our gas tube is locked in place, our return pin is locked in place. The only thing left to do is to put our action together. So we've put our trigger assembly onto our bolt, and we're going to take our action, and again, the easiest way to do this, let's pop that open just for now. The easiest way to do this is to flip it completely upside down, hold this upside down, and it will literally just kind of set in there. And with this open, now it won't stop the bolt from sliding all the way forward. It easily slides all the way forward. We can flip it over, close our magazine. Our bolt assemblies all the way forward like we need it to be so that it's easily taken apart. We put the squiggly part of our spring, or maybe this is the return spring. Yeah, that's the return spring. That's just the gas piston spring. Make sure our little tab is out. Back cover on, slides forward so that your little pin goes through here and holds it all together. Clips down, finito. There's our SKS ready for action. Any questions, comments? Leave them down below. Again, please like and share my videos. I want to get these as far out there as I possibly can. This is Andrew at Andrew's Great Outdoor Adventures. I hope to see you next time.